Home ownership is the American dream, but that dream is beginning to fade, swamped by the rising tide of mortgage foreclosures. Statistics show Ohio is one of the worst states for foreclosures, and Hamilton County is one of the most distressed parts of Ohio. Maybe your mortgage is okay, but the epidemic of foreclosures may still be your problem. This house in Colerain Township is sort of a ticking time bomb, threatening the whole community. It is a foreclosed property, home only to birds, adorned only by legal notices.
It's degrading a lot of our neighborhoods in Colerain Township, and actually it's inhibiting future investment in future new homes.
Last year, Colerain Township had 233 foreclosed properties, according to a study by Working in Neighborhoods. The study found even more in Cincinnati, 1,533, many of them in State Representative Steve Driehaus's West Side district.
Well, I think Price Hill and the West Side were kind of like the perfect storm.
And not just for the West Side. Over a 4-year period beginning in 2002, Working in Neighborhoods found a 121% increase in Hamilton County foreclosures.
All right, let's have an auction.
Brett Richards comes to Cincinnati 3 or 4 times a year to auction foreclosed properties for Hudson and Marshall. In fact, according to Realty Track, Ohio was one of the 10 states with the highest foreclosure rates last year.
2 years ago, we were under 100 foreclosures, but now we were 120 last year, and this year we will far exceed that. We'll be over 200.
How did that happen? Steve Driehaus blames predatory lenders approving people for mortgages who the lenders know don't qualify. Kyra Graves also blames consumers who don't read the fine print, then wind up with higher interest rates than they can afford, or who bought too much house.
Their eyes are much bigger than their pocketbooks.
But what about the banks that made the loans? The Working in Neighborhoods study found 12 banks with 75 or more foreclosures in Hamilton County. That includes such local lenders as U.S. Bank, National City, and Fifth Third, along with nationwide lenders like Wells Fargo and Countrywide, which says foreclosures hurt banks too.
Foreclosures are bad. We don't make any money off of foreclosures.
That's not good enough for Ohio's governor. He sees home foreclosures as a crisis. He'd like mortgage lenders to cooperate on a solution, but
if we can't get cooperation, then I think we ought to look at what sanctions or laws that need to be considered to protect Ohioans.
Hoping to stem the tide of foreclosure auctions, Strickland created a task force to come up with solutions. Representative Driehaus is on that panel. He wants to see the state get tough with banks over their foreclosure rates, especially if those banks manage huge state accounts.
You know, you're profiting off of the state of Ohio and the funds of the state of Ohio, but you're also writing mortgages in the state of Ohio that are going belly up. How do we make you come to the table and work through some solutions?
But that will take time the state may not have. Local finance and banking expert Michelle Graves says more than 1 million adjustable rate mortgages are about to reset to higher rates with terrible consequences.
That means the monthly payment is going to adjust upward $100 to $200 more each month.
And you predict from that what?
Well, I'm going to tell you, this is called the National Foreclosure Tsunami. That's what I predict.
And that'll draw a curtain on it at $110,000.
If you're facing foreclosure, Michelle Graves suggests you talk to the company servicing your mortgage, not the bank, but the company actually sending you the notices. You can also log on to WCPO.com. Click on 9 links to read the complete foreclosure report from Working in Neighborhoods, along with links to other sites to help you avoid becoming a victim of this epidemic. And once you have foreclosures in one neighborhood, it just really starts to choke out the vitality of that neighborhood.
It sure does, but you can get help, and that's important to know.
You can get help. It's not easy, but you can get it.